Welcome to NFT Nation, the most relatable and reliable NFT and crypto podcast in the nation. I'm your host, Michael Wheeler, here with my co-host, Alex Ferguson.
What's going on?
And in today's episode, Alex and I are going to be giving our predictions on the crypto and NFT market for 2022 and beyond. But before we start, here's how the crypto market has done this past week. So pretty much there's been a lot of blood in the water. You're seeing red all over the board with Bitcoin down around 10%, Ethereum down around 8%, Binance Coin down around 8%, Solana down around 16%, Cardano down 13%, and XRP down around 12%. I wouldn't really say this is anything out of the ordinary, especially at the end of a year. So a lot of prices start to tank before a new year starts. So I wouldn't, if you're scared about the prices, I wouldn't be too scared that they're going to stay like this, but it's never really great to see red in the market like this. But before we start about our predictions for the 2022 crypto market, we are going to talk about what we'd like to see from the 2021 market. So Alex, what did you like this year?
Yeah, so I like seeing all the new time highs, like Bitcoin getting real up there, Ethereum, and a bunch of other ones. Just Bitcoin and Ethereum, mostly the ones that got new all-time highs for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll take over.
Okay.
So it's always good to see, especially in the bull market that we're currently in. It's always good to see a lot of different crypto projects get all-time or new all-time highs. It kind of just shows you that a lot more people got into the market this year, which is always a good thing to see, because especially the more people that are in the market, the more people that are buying, the more people that are learning about crypto, and the more mainstream it gets. But I also liked all the major funding for layer one blockchains this year. So pretty much layer one blockchains are your Bitcoins, your Ethereum, your Solana, your Cardano, that are pretty much just blockchains that are built in, that's the only currency on the blockchain. Layer one blockchains have, it's kind of like the base layer, if that makes sense. Ethereum's the base, and there's other stuff on top of that, but base layers, there's been a bunch of new base layers this year, and there's been a bunch of funding for them, which is always great to see, because the more blockchains and the more development we have in this space, it's always good to see.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh yeah, you can go.
So for my next kind of topic that I like seeing this year was that the government actually kind of realizing about crypto and that people wanted crypto, because once it kind of got out there about crypto, government started to buy it, and once they saw everyone buying it, they kind of wanted to get their kind of own little taste in there, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly.
And buy crypto themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's always good to see, especially earlier this year when crypto developers went to Congress to talk to Congress about what crypto is and how it's going to be useful in everyday life. It's always good to see, because a lot of older people in Congress just want to ban crypto because it's stupid and they don't understand it. But once these people in government understand the use case for crypto, it's going to be a great thing, because they're actually going to be open to new projects and open to Bitcoin and stuff like that, without just wanting to ban it altogether. So what else did you like from this year?
So I like that there's a lot of new people in the crypto market, including myself. There was just a lot of people that decided to invest in the crypto, and they saw the bright future ahead of themselves for crypto.
Yeah, I mean, especially for regular people and just us in general, just new people in the market's always a good thing. We created this podcast for newbies in the market. We're trying to be the first stop shop for anyone that's brand new into the market and really doesn't know what they're doing. We're here to give advice for people that haven't don't even know what crypto is, don't know what blockchains are. That's what our job here is to do, just to explain to everyone what crypto and NFTs are. But also on the logic of, or on the topic of NFTs, I really enjoyed seeing the huge NFT boom this year, and especially that went along with the rise of Ethereum and kind of the bullish motion with that. But seeing all the NFT artworks and just sell for such high prices, it was good to see, just because it's always good to see more volume and money in the crypto market.
Yeah. And also, it was just it got a lot easier as kind of like crypto and NFT collections. They just started getting easier to get into. Like in the beginning, it was kind of difficult to find your way around it, but now the companies are kind of making it as simple as possible.
Yeah, like you're kind of exactly right on that topic, because I remember like a year ago when I started first getting into crypto, it was very hard to
Even buy it.
well, I had stuff on like a different exchange, but um the thing is, like, it was just hard to like figure it all out. Like, it took me triple the time to like buy Bitcoin than it would now, if that makes sense. Like, even though it's been a year, the development has been crazy with just the accessibility of crypto to like regular people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our like what we love to see about in the crypto market this year. So Alex, would you like to get us started about what we're kind of looking forward to next year? And before you start, I just want to say we have picked 10 random crypto and NFT topics. None of these have been like picked in any particular order. We just kind of picked 10 different random topics, and we're going to talk about our predictions for them in the future.
Yeah. So for my first topic, or should I say crypto, I picked helium. And I feel like helium will see like a really big surge because I know a lot of people are waiting on those miners.
Mm-hmm.
And once they get the parts for those miners and everyone starts to receive theirs, I just feel like it's going to shoot up quite a bit with all the mining.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's because especially when I looked into buying a miner a few months ago, and it was about a 6-month back order. So I think especially with helium, like providing, we probably should do an episode or something similar to what really helium is. But like a simple definition is just it's a decentralized like blockchain layer that's trying to like give 5G data to the people. Like they want to make the internet and data decentralized. Like they're pretty like a easy like comparison to what helium is. It's kind of like a decentralized AT&T or Verizon. So I think obviously there's a bunch of competition in data because everyone has a phone, but I think once we see like the wide range of internet access from these helium miners and stuff, this will be like I'm pretty bullish on helium, just especially because it's like giving internet access to the people, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what's your topic, Michael?
So pretty much my first like NFT topic that I'm kind of bullish on next year is the Hate Beast NFT collection. So if it's kind of hard to explain what these Hate Beasts look like, but I would advise everyone to go look up what these Hate Beasts look like. It's pretty much short videos and kind of like a realistic monkey, like kind of like the Bored Ape Yacht, but more realistic. And I think I'm obviously bullish on it because I really enjoy the art, just because it's like really cool looking art. But I think if we see like utility with this NFT, maybe like it gives you access to something, or it gives you like a special pass to an event, I think that would be really cool. But I think if I just need, especially with the NFT market as a whole, I just need to see a little bit more utility with NFTs, because obviously I'm very bullish. We made this podcast for a reason, but I just need to see a little bit more utility in real life.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so what else do you want to talk about?
So for my next one, this one's I kind of really thought far into the future. It's this crypto named Sand, and this crypto is directly related to the Sandbox, which is a metaverse world. And like I said, towards the end of the year, I see this shooting up quite a bit and becoming a lot more prominent once the metaverse becomes a lot more useful and more people start to understand it.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. Like, if you're on, I want to call it like NFT Instagram, like the NFT section of Instagram. That's where I like to call it. That's where I get a lot of my information. But if you're anywhere in that part of Instagram, you are constantly seeing videos of people in the sandbox and people creating stuff and people hanging out. And even people like Snoop Dogg, Adidas, like the company Adidas, like Nike, they have bought land in the Sandbox. And I personally do not own any Sandbox tokens. I'm looking to get into it. I think the price is a little bit too high right now. I'm waiting for it maybe to dip a little bit, and then I'll invest. But especially for something like the sandbox. I think more and more people are eventually just going to start hanging out there and playing video games there and just like chilling there. So it's always good to see like the metaverse grow in popularity, and with that, I believe that sandbox will grow in price as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, what I want to talk about is just pretty much just Binance Coin and the entire Binance like exchange in general. So if you're from the U.S., you don't Binance really isn't that mainstream because the government banned Binance a few years ago. Not really banned it, but like you're not really able to access it that much. But especially for all over the world, Binance is one of the most used exchanges like by the majority of the world. So I'm really bullish on this, especially because since they have their own like coin, which is Binance Coin, which is like the third largest crypto in the world, which is crazy to see, even though like not even people in the US can really use it. But since it's the number one exchange outside of the US, there's constantly people piling in, and honestly, these smaller countries that can't even like, it's hard for them to rely on their like currency. Like something like El Salvador, that like their currency is awful, so they're using Bitcoin now. Like this is why people need Binance Coin in the Binance Exchange, because they'll just access the exchange and be like, okay, this currency is worthless. I just need to buy crypto and pretty much just buy and sell everything with crypto. And especially just like this isn't really just with Binance in general, but with all exchanges. Just I'm bullish on every exchange because especially for newbies, it's the easiest way possible to buy crypto. So I don't know what are your opinions on Binance and kind of all crypto exchanges in general?
Yeah, so when I was doing a little bit of research on Binance, what I saw was it's going to be one of the main coins that you need to purchase things in the metaverse. I kind of just did a quick little glance over that, but I feel like I feel like anything really directly tied to the metaverse will obviously go up in value this year. But since I saw that, I really kind of put sort of a marker on that, a mental mark on that to see how high it gets.
I feel like buying Binance Coin is pretty much just like investing in the fact that you believe more and more people will be buying crypto in the future, if that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, like, why would you just want like one exchange's coin? And I don't think people understand how many exchanges actually use Binance Coin, and it's kind of crazy to see. But I think there's a big future for all exchanges in the future.
Yeah. So for my next topic, I chose Solana. As you can tell in the last episode, that we're really bullish on the idea of Solana, and for me, this was an obvious choice because as the year goes on, people realize that Solana, before Ethereum 2.0 comes out, people will realize that Solana is sort of a better Ethereum, and that it's just not as mainstream right now, and it's not super, I mean, I guess it is pretty cheap for what it is, but it's a cheap coin that obviously has great potential.
I mean, I think me and you this is like, we see eye to eye on our predictions for Solana. And I think with the speeds, with the scalability of Solana, with all the developers that are joining the Solana blockchain and like joining their layer 1, there's just so many people that are there's so many developers that are pretty much just like building their smart contracts on top of Solana, which is always good to see. And also, I'm not here to give any like financial advice, but I think Solana is currently at $171 per SOL, and I think that like my prediction is going to be probably about $200 per SOL. That's kind of like my price prediction, because I'm not expecting any crazy things to happen in the market in the next few months unless like a Bitcoin ETF gets announced. But I think my price prediction for Solana is around $200. I don't know what yours would be, Alex.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about prices, but somewhere around like kind of where you are, maybe 200, 250-ish.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I feel like especially for people like you and I, Alex, we don't we don't like. Obviously, we want to see prices go up. Like, we obviously want to make money in the market, but like, unless anything crazy happens, I'm not selling anytime soon. So, like, these day-to-day prices really don't affect me because I know in the long run, like, this is just going to gain in popularity and eventually just keep going up.
Yeah.
And, like, to kind of add on to Solana and, like, how you said it's kind of, like, going to be a faster alternative to ETH. My opinion on Ethereum and Ethereum 2.0 for the year 2022 is pretty much that if Ethereum 2.0 does not, like, come out and it does not, like, develop properly, like, Ethereum might, like, die. Like, obviously Ethereum won't go to zero. Like, Ethereum will still have developers on it. Ethereum will still be important, but if Ethereum 2.0 does not have the ability to, like, be faster, have less gas fees, Ethereum will lose, like, a lot of market share.
Yeah.
Like, Solana will take over, Cardano will take over, XRP will gain market share. Just, like, it's just going to give, if Ethereum, like, kind of fails on this big movement, they're pretty much just, like, giving more room to run for these smaller cryptos, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your
sort of pressure?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you think about the current state of Ethereum in the future?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely, like, sort of, it could be here or there, but Ethereum 2.0 needs to come out quick, and it needs to be able to catch up with Solana's technology pretty quickly. And since Ethereum's been on, it's been up there for a little bit, I feel like the developers will know what needs to be kind of looked at, needs more attention. But if they don't get that figured out, then I don't think it will get to prices people say that it will.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. It just, if you don't develop, you die.
Yeah. So for my next idea, or kind of topic, it's the Bored Ape Yacht Club Mutant Apes. So, kind of like Michael was saying, for the first collection of hate fees, it needs utilities. Like, obviously, it needs to be able to do something kind of special, I guess, other than just be an NFT. Because if it has utilities, people want it, and it just is more special to people if you can actually do something with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, on kind of like the like, talk about utility, obviously there's been, like, an actual Bored Ape Yacht Club party, but I think ever since then I really haven't heard much about whether there's going to be another one or not. And obviously when you have such a big project like Bored Ape Yacht Club, there's going to be, like, thousands upon thousands of people that own one. But I think I obviously enjoy, like, the art piece that NFTs bring, and I understand why some art pieces are expensive due to their, like, artistic value. But for me, it's just, you gotta have utility. Like, I don't know, maybe these Bored Ape Yacht Clubs could be like a coupon to something. I don't really know. Maybe they could be like, I don't really know what they could do to kind of grow NFTs, but I think as long as there's utility, I think this year is going to be, like, the year of NFTs. Like, NFT, this is, like, the make or break point for NFTs. I think this is what this year's going to be. Like, after, like, in 2023, we will fully understand whether NFTs have a place in our society or not. You know what I mean? Like, are we going to see NFTs that are tickets to football games? Are we going to see NFTs that are tickets to basketball games? Are we going to see NFTs that, like, show you verification of identity? Are we going to see, like your driver's license becoming an NFT? Like, maybe that's like far off in the future, but I think this year is, like, truly going to be, if, like, the make or break point for NFTs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And obviously, I don't think all NFTs are going to go to zero, but I think my opinion is that, or why I'm currently kind of on hold from buying NFTs, because I believe a lot of the small NFT collections, you may disagree, Alex, are going to kind of disappear and fall off the map, if it makes sense. Because I think this year, all the hype may die down if prices don't keep skyrocketing. Hype's going to go down. So I believe, like, the big projects will stay expensive and stay or keep their value, but I think a lot of smaller collections will eventually kind of be swept away, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And obviously, I'm not saying that like just because you own like anyone owns an NFT, if it's not a Bored Ape Yacht Club, it's not going to be worth anything, and you made a stupid investment. I'm just saying that like kind of as a whole, kind of like a wide range. If they aren't like very very popular already, it may be hard for a small collection to gain popularity.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And kind of like to get off the NFT track a little bit, we've been on the NFT track for a little bit. So this one may be hard to explain, but I am very bullish on XRP. So I really need to do an episode on we really need to do an episode to explain what XRP is, because pretty much there's this system that all banks use to transfer money all around the world. It's called, I can't remember the name right now, but it's a very important like ledger that they send money all around the world, and it takes a very 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 long time, and there's a lot of fees. So XRP is pretty much here to solve that problem. And some people may be like, why do you want to solve this problem? It's kind of dumb. Well, this is $1 trillion problem. So if XRP can fix that problem, XRP is going to have enormous value. But the thing about what's going on with XRP is the SEC, which is pretty much like a securities office of the government, has sued XRP for pretty much not being decentralized and like not like being fair and not being kind of like, it's hard to put it, but like pretty much the government is just trying to like shut down XRP, if that makes sense. And the lawsuit is supposed to end April this year. And I do hold XRP personally, but I think there's a lot of signs that are leaning towards XRP winning the lawsuit. And I think once XRP wins the lawsuit, we will see crazy high prices for XRP. And obviously, I'm not making XRP my entire portfolio, because if they lose the lawsuit, there isn't much future for XRP inside the United States. But I believe XRP, if you want to learn more about it, go watch some YouTube videos, go listen to some podcasts about it, and hopefully we make an episode about what XRP is. What XRP is, but I think once this lawsuit ends, it's going to be a very good thing for crypto.
Yeah. So for my final kind of idea, it's obviously probably one of the biggest ones around right now, and it's Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is obviously going to grow in value. How much do you think it's going to grow, Wheeler?
I'm seeing like everywhere people saying it's going to hit 100K this year.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I like truly deep down, like obviously I'm like, oh, that would be so nice. I would literally double my money, but like it's the thing, like you kind of have to be realistic. It's like, okay, it has almost like a $2 trillion market cap. Like what type of movement in the market would it have to be to make that market cap almost 4 trillion, if that makes sense? Like, yeah, it would have to be crazy institutional adoption. Like everyone on Wall Street buys Bitcoin, billionaires, everyone, like literally, like your mom is buying Bitcoin. Like it has to be that. It has to be that mainstream for it to reach such a high market cap. So it would be very nice to see high prices, but I think I try to be realistic in a lot of my views, because I really don't want to lose a bunch of money. Like I don't want to buy Bitcoin at 60K because I think it's going to $100,000. But I think that there's obviously potential. I think Bitcoin's going to go up this year. I think it's just kind of like a fact that we'll see more and more people join the market. But I guess a price prediction for me would be like $73,000 by the end of the year for Bitcoin. Like that just makes sense to me. Like even that kind of sounds high to me, unless with like a crazy movement in the market.
Yeah, I can see it like hitting 60, maybe 65.
Yeah, that's not too unrealistic.
Yeah,
because we have seen those prices before.
Yeah, unless something crazy happens and everyone, like you said, decides to buy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we're gonna see. It's obviously gonna go above $50,000, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a new all-time high this year, just because we had such a crazy year.
I definitely will.
And prices have been kind of pretty stable lately, so.
Mm-hmm.
But you literally never know in the crypto market, so we'll have to see.
Very true.
And the or do you want to continue about Bitcoin?
Oh,
Is
you
there
can
anything
go
you want
ahead.
to add? So pretty much my opinion on Bitcoin is that it's just digital gold, and it's always like it's always a good idea to invest in Bitcoin. Like obviously, if you're trying to double your money, you won't buy Bitcoin because it's just not. It just pretty much just doesn't move that much. But obviously, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin just because it's number one for a reason.
Yeah.
So pretty much my last topic to talk about for 2022 is Cardano. So, aka ADA, and I personally hold and stake my ADA, and it's very similar to Ethereum, where it just runs smart contracts, and it's just a different type of blockchain, and it's a different type of cryptocurrency. But there's a lot. It's very fast, like it's faster than Ethereum. But the thing is, there's not as much adoption for Cardano as Ethereum or Solana. So, I'm pretty much just, if Cardano doesn't increase its speeds to match Solana, and it doesn't increase its scalability, I think it won't even be able to compete with Solana and Ethereum 2.0. So pretty much like with anything outside of like the main like 5 cryptocurrencies, if they don't figure out how to compete like with Ethereum 2.0 or Solana, they're kind of gonna die, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think obviously there's a place for smaller cryptos, but I'm kind of like, my investment goal is like, I really don't look at many coins outside the top 10 because I focus on the top 10, and that's really all I want to do. Like, I really don't want to focus on a crypto that is really small and then lose all of my money because I didn't know what I was doing. Because I try to be realistic with my money since I don't have that much. That's kind of why we made this podcast, to be relatable. But yeah, I mean, I think especially with Cardano and other like layer 1 blockchains, they need to figure out how to be faster. They need to figure out how to add more developers onto their blockchain. They need to be more accessible to everyday people, and that's pretty much kind of like my entire view on everything. Just be faster, be more accessible, be easier to access, and I think we'll see higher prices and kind of just better. Like the more people that are in the cryptocurrency market, the better the cryptocurrency market will be, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So that is our kind of predictions for the 2022 crypto and NFT market. Or Alex, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
Just make sure that you're doing your research before you buy.
Exactly. Like that's probably the best thing we've said in this entire podcast. Like in this entire 30-minute podcast, like almost 30-minute podcast, doing your research is the most important thing you can do, because if you just randomly buy into something because Alex or I have said it, you're kind of doing it wrong. Like, you need to do your own research and understand what's going on in the market, understand if the project truly has potential, because everything I've personally put money into, I've done a lot of research to learn about it. And it's just like, if you're not doing research, you can't buy blind, because that's literally how you lose money. So that was a great point by Alex. Is there anything else you want to say?
Give us a like on Spotify and go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram. Our Instagram is at @the_NFT podcast. So if you go over there, give us a follow, that'd be much appreciated. And also, if you love the podcast, go ahead and DM us, and also give us any other ideas for a future podcast. And then just make sure that you're doing your research. And Michael, do you have anything else to add at the end of the podcast?
So pretty much Alex covered everything I wanted to say. It looks like I had some technical difficulties there, and it kind of just like shut off my recording stuff, but I'm happy Alex kind of picked up the slack for me there. And if you all, exactly what he said, go give us a follow on Instagram if you want, at NFT Nation, at NFT_Nation_podcast. Go check out our Spotify, rate us 5 stars, share it with a friend. That would be pretty cool. And I think that's going to be all for us today. And have a good one.
Have a good New Year.